Hey guys, so I got this fun little book in the mail. It's called Two Kinds of People, a visual compatibility quiz, and it's by Joao Roca.
Okay.
And I thought it'd be fun to play it.
It's story time with Grace and Amir.
It's story time. So basically, what this game is, it's like you usually use it with your roommate. And you play this game and you tally up the points and you find out if you guys are a good match.
Just for like being friends.
Yeah, but like just for being friends and stuff. So you pick a partner.
Who are you gonna pick?
Sophie.
Damn it, Sophie! Always a bridesmaid.
So
never
like yeah,
a bride.
so each page is 2 pictures.
Okay.
Like for instance, this is the first one.
Okay.
And we both look at it, and which one do you choose?
Yeah, I choose the made bed.
Yeah, I choose the made bed too.
Yeah. Why are you so out of focus?
Okay. Which one?
You keep moving. Okay, obviously, I gotta choose that one.
Which one?
This one. Like the clean computer.
Yeah, I'm this one.
Really?
Yeah. So we agreed one time.
So how do we have the, okay. Orange pie, it looks like pumpkin every time. Orange pie for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with pink one because I like the fork. Because you can't eat pie with a fucking spoon.
I didn't even see that. Yeah. I just saw the pumpkin pie and I was done. This is me.
Yeah, that's me too. Okay, so that's
all
two.
the alarms, the phone alarms. This one, I'd like this one, but this is when you receive a gift from me, it looks like that.
I'm this one.
Yeah,
I know.
You know?
No, because Lizzie actually does all of your things and they look perfect.
Yeah.
So.
I don't really like the zipper. I like this just clean purple, very Justin Bieber circa 2010. No pickles, no way. Get those pickles off my plate. So how are we rallying up points?
We're at 4 right now.
Oh, okay. And then this one. Yeah,
this one.
The parking meter, yeah. What is that though? What does that even mean? The signature?
This one.
Yeah, the fancy signature says Bill Murray on it. That's what I would pick. What is, oh, this is awful. I'll actually read this out. So this is what the page looks like. And it's 2 text messages, and this is how they go. My summer holes were COOT before we used to go to NY to see
no one
my
types
bro,
like that.
His GF and their 3 kids.
Actually, Hasan
FTF.
might text like that.
Yeah. ILNY, it's a great plus. The other one is my summer holidays were a complete waste of time. Before we used to go to New York to see my brother, his girlfriend, and their 3 kids face to face. I love New York, it's a great place. Also, who texts like that? But that way, I still pick the clearer text message.
I had no idea CWAT means complete waste of time.
I don't think anyone knows that.
Okay, so.
Oh, Hufflepuffs. It's this one.
Yeah, probably, me too.
Okay, so now we have the trash one. This is good for Amir because he's a trash person. I would pick this one, the yellow trash. But how do we know if we win and we can be friends?
Okay, so like let's pretend that we went through all 170 of them.
Yeah, so we went through 170 and we.
And then, so you're using this thing.
Oh.
To like gauge like how many you guys agreed with.
Yeah.
So if you got 1 to 11 matches, you're mortal enemies. That wouldn't have worked. Yeah. I think at our rate, we're not mortal enemies.
Yeah, like well, how many did we match on?
We matched 8.
We did like 10 pages.
Yeah, and we got 8 of them.
8 out of 10, okay, so.
So that's like, we're soulmates.
We're soulmates!
Wow.
What does it say? Okay, so yeah, so read it out, Amir.
Congratulations, you are each other's person. You know it's meant to be when you both have the same opinion about how to hang a toilet paper roll. You are peanut butter and jelly, mac and cheese. You are wired with the same preferences, meaning you're both the same amount of weird. An important ingredient in any best friendship or relationship.
For sure. I want to do this with Sophie. I bet we'd wind up being mortal enemies.
Yeah. I think Sophia and I would be adventure buddies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's interesting how they're different how they're different qualifiers for a type of friendship given what you aesthetically find pleasing. Because this is really just a book of aesthetics.
Yeah.
If you guys match up on those things.
It's totally true. Half of these things I choose because of the colors.
Yeah, because the colors are really interesting. But I do think that there are.
How have you picked like your roommates historically? What's that face?
You know that I've had like roommate.
I know, but like
stuff
before, like without getting into like the nitty gritty of it, what was it? Just because the opportunity arose, and you didn't really like consider like how you're gonna match with them?
So I've had roommates consistently. I have never lived on my own since 2011, probably something like that. No. As soon as
You're gonna say like 2003.
No, since like 2011, I've had roommates. I got paired with one roommate randomly, like a random pairing, and
how did that go?
It was actually really fine because we were friendly to each other. We were friends, but there was no reason for us to be best friends, but we got along really well. She's cool. Lexi, you're probably not watching, but hope you're doing well. And then after that, I moved in with my friend Haley, who she and I went to high school together. I was in her wedding, and we also went to college together. And it was so random that we wound up at the same college, so we lived in a house together, and that was really fun because we're very non-confrontational, not dramatic people. Neither of us. Well, I was at that point in time a very big partier, but she was not. So it was a good balance. She's also just very much like a family member to me. So even that one time that I turned up the heat to 80 degrees and unscrewed all the light bulbs because I couldn't figure out how to turn the light off. I was really drunk when I did that.
Yeah.
She wasn't mad at me because like we've come so far, you can't like lose that friendship. Then I moved in with Raj, who has been on What the Flick before, and that was because I didn't have anywhere else to go, and he was so friendly and kind to me, and he opened up his place, but it wasn't the right area where I wanted to live. And then after that, I lived with Will Neff, who you guys might know from Full Screen. He's also like very good friends with Hasan. He's been on Murder with Friends before, and he and I were like, when we met, we were like best friends immediately in LA. We were like, we love each other, we hang out all the time, it's so good, we're gonna be so compatible. And in many ways, we were very compatible, and then there was sort of like a thing got thrown in there that really tore our friendship apart. And because us being good roommates to each other was based on our love of our friendship, the roommate-ship like just exploded.
Right.
And it ended really messy because we didn't have, honestly, like a great foundation of, we hadn't been through anything hard before. Whereas when I lived with Haley, we had been through so much shit before we even lived together. We knew that we were gonna be in each other's lives no matter what. Will and I, we were like, we're always awesome. This is always good, no matter what.
Yeah, once the honeymoon was over.
And then when things got hard, we honestly, like, I'm sure he would agree with this too, we just didn't really have what it took to like communicate with each other and stick it out. And right now I live with Jay, who's also been on Pop Trigger before, and Jay has been my friend for a long time, and we are good roommates to each other because our schedules are so different and we're so laid back, and we're not best friends. Like, I would consider him one of my closest friends in the city for sure, but I'm not sad if he goes out without me. He's not
That's
sad
really important.
if I go out without him. It's very friendly. And living in a toxic environment can be bad. You lived with Hasan. I don't think that Pop Trigger people know that.
What a segue.
Well, I'm just saying that like, we love Hasan very dearly, but you lived with him, and it's not an easy thing to live with someone who is your best friend that you also work with, because you have this sort of like, when you love someone so much, you can also be like, I hate you right now.
Well, I guess
so
you and I kind of went through the same thing then.
We did. We literally did.
I didn't put that. Yeah, and like around the same time too.
Yeah,
it's very weird.
We did.
And then we became friends right after.
I know. We were like, hey, are you bruised from a friendship?
That's serendipitous.
How was it living with Hasan though? How was your experience with that?
He was actually a really good roommate overall.
This was like 3 years ago.
This was like 3 years ago. Like, we both had our own issues, but it wasn't like one of us was just terrible.
It was just
he's actually like really clean and like organized.
He is. That's
more so than I am in a lot of ways. But I don't know, just like over time, and it wasn't like I didn't leave because of him or anything. It's because I got into a serious relationship, and I started spending more time at her place rather than my own place. And I ended up like paying rent for like 6 months, and I hadn't like been living there in like 6 months.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst.
Yeah, so no, it was fine. But before Haas, I lived with the first time I moved out and like lived somewhere else was with my two best friends. And it was really good for like the first 2 months, and then it just turned into a shit show.
It devolves.
Yeah, like my 2 friends were the messiest people. It was so bad to a point where on the last day that like we had the place, the dishes hadn't been washed in like over a month, that we just took like trash bags and threw all the dishes in a trash bag.
That's disgusting.
And threw it out. And there was roaches and just
That's
like
disgusting.
yeah, it was like and it wasn't my fault. It was them. They wouldn't clean dishes.
Why wouldn't you clean their dishes at some point?
No, I'm a proud person. I'm very proud. I don't do that shit.
See,
I did my dishes all the time, and they just stopped, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And like my friend had like this Where's Waldo hand towel that he used to wipe his butt with in the shower, and he would just like leave it there next to our toothbrushes.
How do you know he wiped his butt?
Because he told us, he's like, this is my butt towel. It had a picture of Where's Waldo on it. I'll never forget.
Well, we know where Waldo was.
Yeah.
Up your friend's butt.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it doesn't work out sometimes, even with your best friends.
Yeah, but it also can be.
It was a lot of fun though. Those are memories I'll have forever.
What I will say too is that like even though you might not be compatible living with someone, and who knows if doing a quiz like 2 kinds of people would really help you out, I will say that while both of us had sort of strange partings of ways with our roommates, we're all now friends. It all worked out fine. It's just sometimes like when you are in that condensed, compressed environment like an apartment and things are getting tense.
It's true, and you're
it'll
day in
boil
and day
over.
out, yeah.
The day in and day out when you're like, your face is literally the last face I wanna see. And it'll go from that to being like, when you don't live with them anymore, being like, I'm so happy to see your face. I love this face.
Yeah.
Whereas 2 months when you were living with them, like, I want to assault that face. I want to punch the face of the person that will not close the cabinets in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just close the cabinet door? Guys, why wouldn't you do that? In the comment section below, we would love to hear about your roommate adventures or misadventures.
I love roommate
Yeah, I would
misadventures,
love to hear some stories if you guys have them. Also, let us know what you thought about this quiz, 2 kinds of people. I'd be very curious about if you agreed with us or if you disagreed with us as we took it. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we will see you next time on Pop Trigger.